Hello everyone and welcome to the third and final race of the weekend here at the Norisring for the FIA Formula 3 Championship, with some very big news indeed, because we are just hearing as we come on air that the man in the orange car there, Felix Rosenqvist, has been reinstated. His fuel was not illegal, and Rosenqvist now is only 31.5 points behind Marciello in the championship chase, and not the 70.5 that we'd heard. And thanks very much to Jamie O'Leary of Autosport to just tell us of that news as we come on air. Alex Lynn there had a couple of good races yesterday. He will now be demoted to a third. So just to reiterate that, the news is that overnight they did another analysis on the fuel of Rosenqvist's car, and it was found to be completely legal. He has been reinstated. We actually have, for race one, a fourth result. We've had 4 different results, Dave Richardson.
This is unprecedented, isn't it?
It is almost unprecedented, so we've got to alter those and move everybody around. So if we're a tiny bit confused, please realise that it's been an extraordinary turn of events here at the Norisring. So, nevertheless, we had a win from Alex Lynn in yesterday afternoon's race, and Marciello in now put into a third place in that race. There's the 3 Bond T-Sport car. Now, I had a email from my old mate Pete Briggs, who runs the British Formula 3 Championship, who tells me I mixed it up. 3 Bond is the sponsor. They make special adhesives in Japan for the automobile industry, and T-Sport, Russell Escott's team, is the team. And Briggsy also told me that we said that Will Buller had moved out of Formula 3. Not quite the case. He will continue to run in the British Formula 3 Championship, where, in fact, he leads that after their first round of what is now a mini-series, but quite possibly will build itself back. There's the Russian, Danny Kvyat, with the Carlin team car, and the Russian taking part in both GP3 with the more powerful cars on the Formula 1 bid and in the hotbed of the European Formula 3 Championship. There, the Brazilian of Luis Felipe Durrani, but as you'll see on the cockpit of the car, he likes to be known as Pippo Durrani. The Brazilian flag there on the cockpit front, and a little clever camera move there as we pull in on the man that's got a bad back, Felix Sorales. A couple of hairline fractures that found recently in one of his, 2 of his vertebrae, and just contemplating the start, eyes shut, again going through the grid. Jordan King, young man from the British Midlands, also with Carlin. And good look under the nose of the 29 Muka Motorsport machine of Roy Nissani, qualifying very well in 12th place, the student from Tel Aviv. Marciello, of course, it is on the pole, and Rosenqvist alongside him, no longer under appeal. So let's close the championship up a bit and put the pressure back on Marciello, of course. Again, another of the Muka cars, the tall American Michael Lewis, started all his racing on the short ovals of California. And just a little flag of the United States on the side of his tear-off. And then Lucas Wolf running with a little URD team. He's had some pretty good results this season, as Lucas Wolf. Second years backed by the Deutsche Post Speed Academy. Look down here, this tricky little 1.4 mile circuit with the 2 hairpins, and the just on the right there, the very tight right and left, which takes the cars behind that huge stadium, built I think in 1931, and where speeches were made from actually a bit you can see right at the top in the middle of your screen is where Hitler actually stood and made some of those speeches. Looking down on the Prema Power Team car in pole position of Lello Marciello. Ferrari wanting him very much to concentrate on this championship. There had been talk of him doing a GP2 race. They decided to pull him out of that. Decided to pull him out of the Masters at Zandvoort last weekend, just to concentrate on this championship and winning this. Just 18 years old, remember. Girls departing the grid with their pit boards. So Marciello, Rosenqvist, Alex Lynn had an excellent win yesterday, and then Tom Blomqvist. We've got some returning names in Alexandra Sims starting in 6th place, and we've got some new names as well in number 52, Nick Cassidy, the 18-year-old from Auckland, where he's had a lot of success down in New Zealand, making his Formula 3 debut this weekend and done an outstanding job of it.
He has been very impressive, hasn't he? Not only in the car, but also a track that he's not driven before.
Also, a quick word, obviously the results have been shuffled around many times, but race 1 actually had a 7th place for Jan Mardenborough, also from Carlin. The young, well, sort of Welsh driver. Not quite sure if he's really Welsh or not. He wasn't born in Wales. Speaks with a Welsh accent, has to be said. A man who raced for Nissan at Le Mans, did such an outstanding job there. Still learning the ropes of this very competitive Formula 3 championship. So, the final few mechanics and team members departing the grid here. And we have to say that Rosenqvist did such a good job coming home for 2 second places, racing under appeal, knowing that he couldn't go on the podium. And surprising that the German Motor Racing Authority, DMSB, got that first test wrong and put so much pressure on the young man as they head off on the warm-up lap. It really is surprising they got that wrong, and Booker Motorsport weren't having it. They were absolutely convinced that they had nothing wrong with the fuel. They've got some very tight procedures for the way they manage it. They said that nothing can be wrong with their fuel. It was retested, and overnight it was found to be absolutely to the regulation. But poor Rosenqvist is a cool Swede, cool Scandinavian. He kept his head, could have easily gone to pieces. Remember, he's fresh out of the victory from the Masters, which he absolutely dominated a week ago at Zandvoort. Just get a shot of the pink car, one of the 2 girls in the race, David.
Yes, Michaela Cerruti. Okay, here is the grid then. Marciello from Rosenqvist, Lynn, Blomqvist, then it's Auer and Sims, Tinknell, Kvyat, then it's Pippo Durrani and Felix Sorrells on row 5 of the grid. Then we see King and Sani, the American Michael Lewis, Lucas Wolff, Nick Cassidy, Sven Muller, Giovinazzi, Jan Mardenborough, Latifi and Mitch Gilbert, then with Van der Laar, Galliel, Chiva, Goddard, Zeller, Rudersdorf and Michaela Cerruti we were just talking about in the pink car. So yes, I mean, Felix, the appeal has, you know, the conviction, if you like, been dropped. Absolutely nothing wrong with the fuel at all, but you're absolutely right. What is amazing is the fact that Felix Rosenqvist went out there and did the job that he had got to do, come what may, knowing that he was racing under that cloud. And he has missed out on 2 podiums here at the Norisring, though, hasn't he?
He's missed out on spraying the Henkel-Trocken, yes he has. There we are, 42 laps this race. 40 minutes-ish. Or 40 minutes plus whatever it takes them to get to the flag. There is Rafael Marciello, who's been noted yesterday, has come with a slightly avant-garde haircut.
Yes.
Marciello then, hearts beating faster now in all those 27 cockpits. Soon those 5 lights will come on. There's 3. Now there's 5. They will extinguish very quickly and off they go. Good start from Marciello. We got a staller, as we often do in Formula 3. He manages to get away. I think it was one of the Fortec cars. And Marcello is in the lead. A few twitches, tails hanging out here, but everybody around the Grundig hairpin in good order. As Marcello leads. Oh, somebody was locking up in a big way there. I hope he avoided everyone. Smoke billowing from both tyres, must have done. Marcello in the lead. Rosenquist is in second place. Then it's Alex Lynn, and then it's Tom Blomqvist who's having a good weekend. And then Lucas Auer, the Austrian, and Sandra Sim in the Nissan pad. Get this right. 3 Bond with T-Sport car. As we have a challenge then from Lynn, but decides against that. Looking down, just seeing the black crash helmet of the young New Zealander Cassidy.
So Marcello leads from Rosenquist, Lynn, then Blomqvist. Blomqvist looking very racy indeed. There's Auer and Sims and Kvyat and Pippo Durrani. But there is our race leader, Marcello, Felix Rosenquist.
And Mardenborough making a good move there, just moving up a slot. Mardenborough has taken a couple of places on this lap. Marcello, Rosenquist, Lynn, Blomqvist, Auer, Sims, Kvyat and Durrani. Tinknell, King and Cassidy, Muller, Mardenborough. I think Mardenborough's gone up one since then. And going through. Sorales, it was that bogged down. So Sorales with a lot of work to do now. 21st.
Touch there between Mardenborough and Nassani, Andrew.
Yep.
So luckily they managed to hold that all together. Let's see that again. Good control there from Jan Mardenborough to hold that together, Andrew.
Nassani turned into him. Wolf got a great view of that. So across the start-finish line again, and Marcello's already put a space of 1.6 seconds between him and Lynn. Lynn second. Cassidy still there in 11th place. And Sim just passing Auer.
Yep.
14 car going past the 24. Multicoloured crash helmet of Alexander Sim, done some prototype racing, and Nicholas Latifi has done something. But one thing he's definitely done is damaged the right front suspension, the nose. And
that's Michael Lewis out.
Michael Lewis obviously clashed with him. I wonder if that's going to bring out the full course yellow. And Mardenborough has been shown a black and white warning flag for dangerous manoeuvre. Well, I didn't see it that way. Oh, this all happened at the Grundig hairpin. And Latifi came diving down, just as so many Formula 3 drivers have done over the years.
Yes, that was never going to work, was it?
No, and Michael Lewis a bit winded.
So back at the front then, Marcello, Rosenquist. What's Marcello now? Rosenquist 4/10, the gap between them last time around.
We've got Tom Blomqvist in 4th place, has a teammate now in Cassidy. There's a penalty for someone, I think. The Deutsche Post runner. Sims in that 5th spot ahead of Auer. So Blomqvist with the Euro international team got a benchmark now in Cassidy, and they are good mates as well.
Yeah.
Latifi still sat in that car for some reason. Maybe he thinks he can get going again. Not a brilliant weekend for him.
So off the tarmac and onto those paving slabs that are on the outside of that circuit there.
Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz and Nissan engines. Here's the start. And there you see Sorales there on the right. has managed to, I don't know, presume it's stalled, but he hit the button pretty quickly, got it going.
Yep.
But lost him, maybe 10 places. And everybody was round here pretty smoothly.
So watching Tinknell. There's Durrani, King,
Muller.
and Sven Muller. Sven Muller run one of the races yesterday with that bent nose cone and wing.
Yeah, he
Seemed
did.
to hamper him too much, did it, to be
No.
fair?
And Cassidy dropped back to 12th place. He's got Mardenborough charging after him now. Ruti in 25th in the pink car. Rosenquist just on the fastest lap of the race thus far, has gone purple in the first sector. King actually purple in the second sector. And now actually Sorali's purple in the second sector, so Sorali's pushing hard down there in 17th place after his stall on the grid. With the Fortec team car, Richard Dutton's organisation. Now,
So that's Durrani under some pressure.
yeah, that was Muller. Muller under pressure as well. King trying down the inside.
There's Muller. Very good.
Muller and King.
So there is Pippo Durrani in that pack. King and Muller.
And there Cassidy's right after
Yes,
him.
he's right at the back of that pack, isn't he?
See what he can do here.
And now Marcello is under some pressure, Andrew.
Yeah, Rosenquist is really charging right on the back of his gearbox now. He can sniff those exhaust fumes.
You'd said that Rosenquist had set in really quick times, and now he is right on the back of Raffaele Marcello.
More experience in Formula 3 than anyone else on the grid has Rosenquist. I've been racing since he was 15 years old. He was racing out in Asia when he was just 16. Plastic bag is swept up rather deftly by that man, actually.
Yes.
And let's see whether Rosenquist can really push Marcello further. Lynn Blomqvist.
So there you see P1 and P2 very, very close together. Raffaele Marcello then with Felix Rosenquist certainly challenging and charging. Marcello been a different character this year, Andrew, hasn't he? He's come into the racing with...
He's growing up, isn't he? You know, Zeller has a problem. And he is going to retire in the pit lane, I'm assuming. Some incidents under investigation.
That's it. So Zeller's race is over.
The Michael Lewis incident is under investigation as the Swede continues to keep the pressure on. And we're not used to Marcello coming under this sort of pressure.
No.
Cracking battle going on here between this pair. Two standout drivers in this championship this year. Well, Felix Rosenquist has got about 4 inches shorter than Marcello. He's a 6-footer. What about down the hairpin here? Now, how did he get there? That's Giovinazzi. The Italian been having a torrid season with the Indonesian sponsorship. Oh, he got nudged by Lucas Wolff. And that's broken a suspension part. Wonder if Wolff will be able to continue. Giovinazzi then puts the steering wheel on as we see KFC Indonesia. And that's because his teammate is Galeo, whose family are involved in that. And look at this! Rosenqvist gets alongside him, but he's in the wrong place for that hairpin, which saw before this a Porsche Carrera Cup race where Sean Edwards did several overtaking manoeuvres as he came through the field down there. But what about now into the other hairpin? He's going to come out of the slipstream. He's in the tow. He pulls out and he forces himself ahead, but no under braking. Marciello's got Marciello out brakes and goes too deep, and he actually is going to come back. Just holds on to second place, and Rosenqvist is in the lead with a great move by the young Swede, and Marciello is overtaken by Rosenqvist. And was a little bit lucky to get back on the track in front of his teammate Alex Lynn, who's running in a fine third place, and Blomqvist is still fourth. Let's look at it again.
Just set up absolutely perfectly here. Put Marcello under pressure. Marcello broke under that pressure, locked up, didn't he? And then Felix Rosenqvist had got the job done then. Absolutely set up perfectly, wasn't it?
Yeah. Brilliant job by the Swede. I'll be interested to see if he starts to pull away. And look at Lynn, he's putting the pressure now, and Lynn tries it.
So this, will it be a replica of what happened before? I suspect not, because Marcello ain't going to make the same mistake again.
And Blomqvist right with him too.
Yes.
And so is Sims.
So this is hotting up at the front now. Rosenqvist is our new leader from Marcello, as we see, as you predicted, Lucas Wolf going out after that incident there with Giovinazzi. So Wolf is out as well. Rosenqvist leads. Already he's built up a 1.2 second advantage over Marcello. So Rosenqvist clearly quicker, Andrew.
Clearly quicker. And Cassidy, incidentally, has got past Muller. He's up to 11th spot with King in 10th. Another little URD. There's the damaged wheel. I think Lucas Wolf really is only himself to blame for that.
So Seralis there and Nissani getting together. An end plate flying off there, Andrew.
Yep. Seralis, the Puerto Rican driver. His father was one of the great powerboat Class 1 throttle men. Race for that victory team out of Dubai. Son prefers it on dry land. Over that manhole cover, which is firmly welded down. And Rosenqvist now has pulled away into a 1.3 second lead over Marciello. He's going to come under pressure from Lynn. Meanwhile, still got a good performance here by Kvyat in the 51 car.
He's under pressure now from Tincknell.
Yeah. Of course, has been a winner this season in this championship.
So the front pack of 6 then being led by Felix Rosenqvist. Getting up the road there, Marcello second place, Lynn third, Blomqvist fourth. Then it's Sims, then it's Auer.
Yeah, that's still that battle going on with Tincknell, man from Exeter.
And sitting just behind those is Pippo Durrani, Andrew.
Yeah, Durrani having a good run here for Fortec. Of course, we haven't mentioned it. Oh, there's a lot pointed going on there. What's that about?
Yes.
Oh,
now Pippo Durrani's going to take it. He's taken 2 at once.
He's got a smile on his face.
Wow, what a move that was.
Well, he got the hairpin right, the other two didn't.
Yes. Wow.
We haven't mentioned, of course, in today's broadcast that we no longer have Josh Hill racing with the Fortex team. As we see this replay there, and they both went too deep into that.
But going into that hairpin, there was a lot of finger pointing, Andrew, wasn't there?
Concentrate on driving, stop waving your hands around. Yeah, Josh Hill decided to give up racing to take up a full-time career as a drummer. So, of course, Father Damon, very good guitarist, but Josh in a band as a drummer, and decided he preferred it to motor racing. And, to respect his decision. as this battle still goes on between Muller there in the red, white and blue car and the New Zealander Cassidy. Remember, Cassidy never raced a Formula 3 car before this weekend, never been or seen the Norisring. Although he must have driven on some pretty rough and ready circuits in New Zealand, I think. So certainly trying hard.
So it's Kvyat now is next in Cassidy's sights, Andrew.
Yeah, Kvyat being pushed by Cassidy hard. And you've got to wave the flag for all. So Cassidy goes for a very good overtaking. Has he got it all stopped? Yes, he has.
Very, very smooth.
Huge natural talent, this boy.
Yeah.
We're going to hear a lot more of him. I understand he will be doing the rest of the season with the Italian Euro International team. And running there in front of the Carlin and heavily funded Kvyat. We had a lot of success in Formula Renault last year. I think he won 14 races altogether between the two main series. Yeah, I was just going to say, you've got to wave a flag for that man in the predominantly white car there who goes to the inside move there. That's Alexander Sims, but there's a switch back and Sims slides and he actually loses a place out of that.
Yes. But
back into Formula 3 and had one other guest drive in this car earlier on, and Alexander Sims, who remember racing for Muka Motorsport in the past in this series, doing a good job, but just a little bit too extravagant under braking there. So the Blomqvist car goes back and takes Auer with him. Meanwhile, Rosenqvist lead now at 1.8 seconds. Good battle for this fourth, fifth and sixth. Lynn firmly in third place.
Oh, and a touch there between Auer and Blomqvist. Just a little touch from the nose of Lucas Auer's car. Now, whether there's done any damage to that wing at the front, Blomqvist is getting away now. Let's see it again, Andrew.
Little come-on bump, wasn't it?
Yep.
No, that won't have done any damage. Yeah, that's a... Oh, it has. I think it has, Dave. Look, the wing is definitely at an angle. So, my mistake. No, that is definitely damaged. Those two plates hang down and secure the wing. There's a bit of flexibility there. Now, how's it look now?
Well...
Normally those sort of little bumps don't do it, but I did think I saw the wing afterwards at a bit of an angle. As I said, there is flex in it. Mardenborough in 13th place. Sorales up to 14th after the stall. Galil having quite a good run in 18th ahead of Gilbert and Goddard, two Australians running together. Rudersdorf in 21st place. Rudersdorf in the crazy world, which was race one and all the different changing position. One stage, about 12 cars have been given 30-second penalties, which were later rescinded. Rudersdorf was in the press conference. Thought he was third and got pushed back to about 16th at the end.
Yes. That press conference was amazing because none of the drivers realised, did they? And they were as confused as we were.
Very much a false dawn, wasn't it?
So has that done damage to Auer's car? Because he's certainly not as quick as he was.
Well,
after saying that,
see, just have a look at his splits are looking not bad actually.
Okay.
Just lost his momentum more than anything else, I think. I think that wing is okay.
So, Rosenqvist leading then over Marcello, Lynn, Blomqvist. Then we see Sims, Auer, Durrani and Tincknell.
Got Van der Laar down there. Yeah. I think something's wrong with that car. I wonder if he's lost a gear or something.
So, Kvyat then.
Yeah, I think Kvyat's got a problem.
Yeah.
Maybe he's lost a gear. Just to say, in 16th place, Van der Laar had to race in a pink race suit at the Masters in deference to his sponsors. The car has still got pink stripes on it. It's apparently proving a little difficult to get off. He's got sponsorship from the Discovery Channel, but can't see so much of that. There's King and Cassidy. Cassidy up in the top 10. His first Formula 3 racing weekend. What do the blokes think behind him? Been racing all season. Some kid dives in and you scratch your head a bit, haven't you?
Yes, yes.
And
you're
yeah,
right.
Kvyat has got a problem and he retires into the pits. No wings for him today.
No. There's Roy Nissani then, the Muka Motorsport driver. We see
Kvyat walks away.
Yeah.
Looks at the back of the car. Carlin team not rushing to wield any spanners to it. Cerruti there, about to be lapped by the boys chasing down 4th and 5th places. The Romeo Ferraris team is Cerruti.
So gets out of the way and allows
Yeah.
Blomqvist and Sims past.
King has closed up on Dinknell. It's right on the back of his gearbox now. Cerruti keeps out of the way nicely. Can't miss that car. Cassidy has put some space between himself and Muller.
So Blomqvist down there in P4 being chased down by Alexander Sims. Blomqvist, another one of those that was in that press conference that you mentioned yesterday, Andrew, where nobody knew what they were getting. All Tom knew was that he ended up with the backdrop of the entire press conference on him.
Yeah, and the interviewer, no idea why they were there either. So it was a bit of a comedy of errors, I'm afraid. These things happen in motor racing. Cheever, we haven't mentioned him much. Eddie Cheever Jr. had a very good result at the Masters a week ago, well up in the top 10, not running so well here. Tends to get involved in accidents as the young Rome-based driver, based in Rome, just as his father was when he was racing in Formula 3 all those years ago. Dad, of course, went on to stand on money Grand Prix podiums, racing for the likes of Renault, and win the Indy 500, and go on to run his own team at Indy, and also run teams in the Grand Am Championship. I haven't seen Cheever Senior around at any of these races. So, what's happening with the battle for 8th with Tinknell and King? Tinknell in 8th, King 9th, Cassidy. Oh, here's Sims using bits of the track that others hadn't tried, and
Didn't work, did it?
no. Well, that's from some while ago.
Yeah,
isn't
it is.
Yeah, that's the one from some while ago that we saw. You see all those lines there. That's the car parking for the football stadium, which is right near that corner.
So now Mardenborough and Sorales.
This is for 12th place. And pretty well everyone's going past Cerruti. She's down in 21st place. Mardenborough under a bit of pressure. So, of course, Mardenborough's got the full support of Nissan. So this battle continues. Muller's come back at Cassidy,
yes.
look.
So Nick Cassidy then, who's done so much to impress us over the course of the weekend. And Sven Muller right on his tail now, trying to find a way past.
Well, using the toe, Nick Cassidy looks across and Muller gets him. But Cassidy's very good on the brakes. Very, very good down at that hairpin. And Muller has to drop behind again. Remember, Muller's in his second season of Formula 3, highly rated by German motorsport.
And the point you made earlier, which must be going through Sven Muller's mind, is the fact that in front of him is this guy that's come into it this weekend, never having driven the circuit, never having driven the car, and, you know, truthfully, Andrew's shown him a clean pair of heels, isn't he?
Yeah, and interestingly, they both, I think, have, they both got Volkswagen engines. Certainly, Muller has, driving for the Marcon team.
So Rosenqvist now 3 seconds up the road.
Sorry, Cassidy is on a Mercedes.
Right.
Yeah.
So there is Tom Blomqvist.
And whose front wing is intact. You can clearly see it there. Lucas Auer, the nephew of Gerhard Berger. This was the Muller move here.
And that one
we didn't see live, but that worked.
So Muller did at last get past Cassidy.
You could say that Cassidy had been mullered.
You could.
You could. So
it's the gap between Blomqvist and Auer then, P4 and 5.
So this race settled down now with Rosenqvist. 3.1 seconds, and Rosenqvist with the German team from Berlin running his car, Mucker Motorsport. Certainly doing an outstanding job today, as he's done, of course, won all 3 races in Austria and then went on to win the Masters.
Yes.
And he seems to have just a bit of extra speed, doesn't he? Today. Good drive by Blomqvist, though. Coming to the Euro Motors team and not used to running Formula 3 cars. He got that car for the Macau Grand Prix last year. Everybody, of course, running with the latest Dallara chassis. And certainly the grandstand filling up. This race, a precursor to the DTM, which is coming up in a couple of hours' time. Rosenqvist, Marciello, Lynn, Blomqvist, Auer, Sims, Durrani, and Tinknell. Then it's King, Muller, and Cassidy, Mardenborough, Sorales, Nissani, Van der Laar, and Shiva. And there goes a wing, and oh no! Goodness me.
So Sorales, Nissani.
Yep. And he's going to try and drive on from there. What about Nissani? And he's got...
Let's see this.
Well, that is Mardenborough.
Yeah.
Being spun around by Sorales, and then, unfortunately, Nissani got nowhere to go. So, wow, what happened to Mardenborough from that? There's a ring ripped asunder. So, mistake under braking. He'll, of course, say, oh, Mardenborough brake miles too early. I must ask someone for the Dallara how much that bit costs. Carlin team Fortec boys down there.
So Sorales in.
New wing nose waiting for him. He's chucked his steering wheel out in a sort of Puerto Rican way. And it'll be handed back to him to put back on the car. He could get a penalty for that. It's not happy. And Mardenborough still seems to be going okay, so I'm a bit lucky to get hit quite hard.
Well, in the initial seeing of that, we didn't even see Mardenborough in the incident,
No,
did we?
we didn't.
So he clearly escaped.
Still this battle going on here. Lynn is running on his own in third place. He's had a very good weekend as Alex Lindquist running third in the championship. Rosenquist, Marciello and Lynn, and it's Blomqvist, Auer, Sims, Durrani and Tinknell, but last point or two been quite a squabble over that, as Sims hasn't given up yet, has he?
No.
Chance to get back that to fifth place.
So Rosenquist with a 4-second advantage over Marciello at the front end of the race. Rosenquist, of course, racing this race, the first race of his 3 over the weekend, where he's not had the cloud of a potential penalty over his head.
Yeah, that's me.
So there's Mardenborough. You can see how bent the rear wing is there, Andrew, but he's still being able to continue. Just see that shot. It's really at an angle, isn't it?
And he's got Van der Laar there. You see the purple markings on the car from that sponsor he had for the Masters. Running from Van Amersfoort Racing. One of the top Dutch racing teams, and he makes a good move. It goes past, does he, Mardenborough? Mardenborough has to cede, and they come out side by side. Mardenborough's probably got the line as they go into the S. And yes, Mardenborough wins out there, but Van der Laar challenging that 12th place. So picks up on the race leader here of Felix Rosenquist.
So Felix Rosenquist then 4.3. Here's advantage over Marciello. You see come into shot right now in second place. Then it's Lynn and Blomqvist, the Blomqvist-Auer Sims battle, which has raged for an awful lot of this race, hasn't it? And Blomqvist has done a great job of just holding on to that P4 place, defending when necessary. There have been a couple of charges and challenges, hasn't there?
Sims still pushing hard in the car that Will Buller drove earlier in the season. And Sims makes his move on Auer. Down to the Grundig hairpin. Auer's got the inside line. Sims can't cut inside him. And now he makes a move down there and almost gets his nose ahead, but doesn't manage it, and Auer defends well. And the Austrian stays in front of the British driver. As the checkered flag falls then on Felix Rosenquist. Well, what a roller coaster of emotions that man has been through this weekend, and so too have the Muka Motorsport team. But it's Rosenquist actually finishes the weekend now with a first and 2 second places. Marciello finishes in second place. So his weekend tally, a first, a second and a third. There's Peter Muka. And after all that angst and the knowledge that they really hadn't done anything to the fuel, and it's all come good for them. And Felix Rosenquist then, little Swede buried down in that cockpit, and he had a great overtaking manoeuvre on Marciello to snatch the victory. Lynn comes home third. Good weekend for him as well. with a win and 2/3, I think, for him.
And Sims getting past Hour right at the
last knockings, yeah. So Sims did get 5th place. Here's Rosenquist coming in. Wasn't allowed on the podium for the first 2 races. Now, he really should have been. Climb up there 3 times.
Yeah, yes. Well, he's dealt with the problems that he's had over the weekend in the best possible way, Andrew, really,
yes,
hasn't
he? He was always convinced that the team had not made a mistake. He was convinced he was going to be reinstated. Talked to his PR man last night and said, oh, yeah, Felix is sure that it'll all be changed. And it was. And it's pretty rare for decisions like that to be reversed. But they had the faith. Hankook barriers are put in place, look. And so the calm after the storm. Marciello, what are his feelings? He's for once been firmly beaten. Beaten by a man who was certainly on this day better.
Yes.
So 1 Muka car, 2 Prema cars. The flag fell. Cerruti was almost lapped for a second time.
Yeah.
The team absolutely overcome with that. And there the engine man from Mercedes gets a hug. Peter Muka gets lifted off the ground.
So it just proves that whatever procedures they have in place for fuel, yeah, they hadn't made a mistake, had they?
No, they had not made a mistake. And the German authorities are going to have a very serious look at their procedures. Well, that win will be all the more sweeter, I think.
Yes.
So, yeah, scenes of jubilation, exhilaration, excitement down there. Peter Muka's been in this sport a long time, but I haven't seen him lifted off the ground too many times. As we look down on the whole area, which is the Norisring, with confirmation of result, and I hope this time doesn't get changed around. I can tell you that race 1 had 4 different results over the weekend, but Dennis Rosenquist winning in the end by a massive, almost 5 seconds from Marciello. Lello Marciello. Then it's Lynn and Blomqvist, Sims, Auer, Durrani, Tinknell, Jordan King, and Sven Muller, who fought so hard, didn't he, with Nick Cassidy, who finishes in 11th, Jan Mardenborough, who survived that ram up the gearbox near the end. Dennis van der Laar in 13th. Cheever came home cleanly in 14th. Sean Galil 15th. Goddard in 16th, going all the way down. Sorales with his problems. All these drivers failing to make the finish in an excellent Formula 3 race. Lots of good action. So a little bit of music, talking of music, Earth, Wind and Fire playing here. In just a few moments, Dave's got a backstage pass. It's a bit of a backstreet boy. We have seen them playing at the DTM actually.
Yes.
But there is Marciello finishing in 2nd place. Dave's going to take a runner maybe just to catch the start of the set anyway. And Dave, good racing though from the Formula 3 boys again.
Well, I think to be fair, we've been able to enjoy that race knowing that probably the penalty is lifted. It's made so much difference, hasn't it? You know, it's not easy for Andrew and I to sit here actually not being aware of all the information, and you know, we've had a hard call over the first 2 races, haven't we? Not knowing where we're at, to be honest, but no mistake.
Thanks to our friends at Autosport and the press officers for getting through to us. So some helicopter shots here as we'll go down to the podium in a moment. It's the Drivers' Championship. Presumably this has all been readjusted now to take in. So Marciello, it's got 24.5 points lead over Rosenquist, and Lynn firmly in third place, Auer fourth, Tinknell in fifth, Blomqvist sixth, Sorales seventh, Jordan King eighth, ninth, Sven Muller, and still with 56 points, Josh Hill now retired. It shows what a good season he was having.
Yes, and we've been talking to many people about that Josh Hill announcement, and many saying it's a very brave decision to make, but you know, if you're absolutely unconvinced or not totally convinced that you should be on the track, then it's the right decision.
And then all the pressure of being part of a dynasty, and the first sort of three-generation major dynasty in motor racing in the UK. We've had it with the Andrettis, of course. In America, we've had it with the Unsers there, but so much pressure on Josh King, and so he's decided, and I hope he doesn't have second thoughts now. There's Alex Lynn, a second-generation racer. His dad, one of the top historic competitors. He'll be at the Silverstone Classic. And
you were saying he's been out in some of the historics
he's been
as
in
well.
Lotus Cortina. He might have been in I think he's been in one of the old Formula 3 cars as well from 30 years back. But there's a classic and historic event going on here this weekend. They came out and raced at about 7:30 last night, and we went past the paddock this morning, and there seemed to be quite a few nice cars there. Obviously the German historic scene nowhere near as big as the British,
right?
Surprisingly. So everyone getting ready for this, and there's members of the Mucker team and the also the Rosenquist family down there. Well, I think that says it all. And there, Felix Rosenquist. Very fine job today. Marciello. Stefan the voice on the microphone.
Just look at the difference in the height of those two up there, can't you?
Alex Lynn's quite a tall lad as well. Yeah, Marciello almost towering over Rosenquist, and there's a difference in the steps. Peter Mucker up there on the podium as well as we hear the Swedish national anthem. So there we are, Swedish national anthem. Used to hear that playing, of course, in Grand Prix racing.
Yes.
The likes of the great Ronnie Peterson. A lot of Swedish Grand Prix drivers over the years.
Yeah.
Gunnar Nielsen, of course, and Rainer Wissel, and it's about time Sweden had another Formula 1 driver. They used to have their own Grand Prix, of course, at Anderstorp. There's Thomas Dill, the clerk of the course. Peter Mucker saying it's for you guys. And Mucker a busy man because they run a couple of DTM cars as well for Mercedes. And Marciello. But there'll be some thoughts racing through that young man's head. And had Felix Rosenquist overtaken him like that before.
He certainly doesn't look very happy on the podium, Andrew, does he?
No. And he knows that he's got a fight to the end of this championship, and he also knows that this time last year he was leading it.
Yeah.
And, of course, didn't take the title.
Now you can see the difference in the height, can't you?
You know, Danny Juncadella came back at him. Well, they seem to have gone to a champagne spraying school. Peter Mucker's getting stuck in there.
He is rather, isn't he?
Yeah. I'm sure he's got to change his shirt back in the truck. Alex Lynn takes a slug of the sparkling. think Marcello probably prefers Coca-Cola or some similar beverage. So, images here from the start to the finish of an excellent Formula 3 race, and what's been a very confusing weekend of Formula 3 racing at the Norisring. But had 3 different winners in the end, one for Lynn, one for Rosenquist, and one for Marciello. We had plenty of Broughton Dallara parts. They'll be going into overdrive of production on those front wishbones, I'm sure. Disappointments, high spots, absolutely excellent racing. So from me, Andrew Marrett, and for Dave Richardson, it's goodbye until the next time. And they've got a big break now, of course, Dave, of 6 weeks.
6 weeks holiday, yep.
Yep,
So
that's it. Yes, from us, it's
bye-bye.
Goodbye.